Hello everyone, my name is Kist and welcome back to another episode of Trackling 101. We are near the end, the final episode before the live stream, before we actually conclude the series for now. I am in my cook consolidation traveling with the maintenance away train, and we're going to be traveling around today and fixing some of the spots in the railroad. There's been a few spots that have been bugging me since like episode 8, episode 9, and it's about time we actually finish it, or fix it I should say, and just conclude the series with a nice complete map. We have some goodies in our train. We have our tools, we have our rails, our ties, we have a little bit of ballast back there in the hopper. So it should be a fun time, and we're actually coming up on our first location now. That's right, the freight depot. How we're actually going to be doing this is we're going to start here and travel down the main line, and at each place that I will be stopping at, we'll be fixing something there. So best thing to do is actually fix where we all start and where we all first spawn at. So what is the actual issue with the freight depot? I thought it was fine. It doesn't seem like there's anything too wrong with it. Yeah, except for something here. I made an error. I didn't notice this at first, but the spline here is clipping into the switch, and that's no bueno. We don't want that. It's about time we fix it. But I also don't really like the look of this. I kind of hate how it just snubs out, I guess. I don't like how it just kind of sticks out. It doesn't look that functional to me. This part's fine, but I feel like I can make this look a lot better. And honestly, I know I'm being really picky, but I've also kind of hated how this switch just kind of veers out. I really like symmetry, or for stuff to make sense, and since we're turning right, I don't understand why I have to turn left first. It's these little things that bother me. Now, the format for this video is going to be time-lapse based. I'm not going to spend too much time to actually talk about the specific little nuances and the things I am doing. There is one thing I do have planned that I do want to talk about, but for the most part, it's going to be a time-lapse. So, without further ado, let's finish episode 15 right now. And we are done. First destination complete. And I'm actually really happy with this. I think it looks a little bit more busy. It kind of looks more industrial too. I think it looks a lot better than what I had previously. At least that's my opinion. I added a Y here just because if I wanted to turn around, I actually have that ability to. And I made a long enough piece if I pull a train in here. And yeah, I think it's a lot more feasible as a location as some kind of industry as well. Alright, let's hop back on the train and go to our next location. And that's right, the next place that needs to be fixed is the sawmill. I don't have no idea what's going on with the textures over there, we're not going to worry about it. But the thing I've had issues with is the dang diamond right here. I've not been happy with just this and how it looks. I really need either a 60-degree crossover or maybe a 30-degree crossover. It's been bothering me, it does not look good. I've never been happy with it ever since that 4.5 episode. So I'm actually going to fix it finally. I have a few ideas in mind. I've already messed around with this a little bit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and fix the sawmill. Holy cow. Y'all, I am super happy with this. This looks awesome. There's still a little finessing I'm gonna say we can do here. Honestly, I'm considering changing the angle of this switch so it's pointed out more towards this end cap. And then I might try to make a bigger curve because this is rather tight. Whenever it's extended, it looks a little weird because it flattens out right here in the middle of this curve. Might try to change it after done recording, but for what it's worth right now, this is actually rather nice. So I'm really happy with this for how this actually looks, I should say. The crossover finally actually makes sense. It's straight in both directions. It looks good. The crossover is just, oh, finally. I'm really happy with this. It's been a long time coming, and gosh, it took me probably, what, 30 minutes? So let's go check the recording. Yeah, 40 minutes I spent on this. Regardless, let's go hop on our train and go to the next destination. Alright, our next destination, the smelter. Yay. Now, we're not going to redo the entire grade for it, but there's one part I actually want to talk about. This final curve here. For like the longest time, I've not been happy with it. I just kind of did it for simplicity's sake, but now I want to fix it and actually make something that looks good and will be fun to actually run on. So let's just go over there real quickly and start building. The plan here is we're actually going to build a helix. I actually did this once already, but unfortunately there were some thunderstorms outside and my power got knocked out and I lost 30 minutes worth of footage. Yay. So we're just going to redo it real quickly. It shouldn't take too long now that I've already done it once. And yeah, let's just jump into it and build a really nice helix. And the final look, I think it's pretty good, not gonna lie. I think this is a heck of a lot better than the first curve we had in place, for sure. The actual problem with it is, if you remember from my Railroad Studio video, there was a little section of it that was 3.8%. Really steep compared. Even though it was a little steeper by 0.8% of a degree, or a percentage I should say, it was bothersome for me. I just didn't like how it looked overall. But with this in place, I'm actually really happy with it. I think it's going to be big enough for all the engines, but we will have to go slow. It is rather tight. As you can see, there isn't really a good support. I might add a bridge here, actually. I want to see what that looks like. Maybe worth considering to overlap them. I'm sure there's probably going to be a better way to actually get it there, but I don't know, something to consider. Unfortunately, I do have to go for a few hours, but I will be back rather quickly for you guys. We will be continuing with the setup for the smelter when I come back. We are going to be changing how this actually operates. I might leave it in, I may not. I'm going to be thinking about it, but I'm actually going to show you probably my new favorite way to actually load cordwood. And let's do that right about now. And we're back. Been a few hours for me, it would have been that for you. All of this is going to be changed, and I just want to show you that new method. It's not necessarily new, but it's new for me, new for just a lot of things, I guess. And it requires us to put tracks here instead. So using alignment 90, I think I'm going to use the wood. I've done this once before. I think doing it halfway here, halfway into two. Next thing we're going to do is we're just going to try to split the difference, I'm going to say, of these two. Try your best to line it up here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this one to make sure they're both exactly the same length. Now, what I'm trying to do is create tracks for cross-loading. And I'll hopefully be able to show this maybe at the end for the final clip in the outro. But the point of it is you're going to put cordwood cars here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The point of which is all you have to do is just come in on one line, no switching, no nothing, and what you have to do is hit enter and cross load the goods, the whatever, the material over to the platform. So you just gotta hit enter and it'll hop from car to car. I'll probably show it here right now. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and show it right now. Yeah, that was awesome. I really did like that. But we have to continue on, and once we get our tracks in place, what we can do is add our little end caps here. 7.4, why not? Make sure it's lined up with this one. There we go. Now we got to do it for these two. Awesome. So how do I actually put the cordwood cars on the piece? Now, you guys are getting a little preview to what is to come next. We'll get to this here in a few minutes. But I just want to show you how to load the cordwood cars onto this piece of track. I messed up the measurements when I originally built it. I want to tell you it now. This wooden bridge right here is 12.7 meters in length. 12.7 meters. What you should try to do is you should try to build a piece that's centered up on the dock. So centered up right here on the dock, and then split the difference. So 6 something on each side. From there, you want to put your end buffers on either side. Then, for me, I use stone wall to decorate it and to give it some body and some groundwork. Once you do that, we actually have to load the cordwood cars. To do this, I'm going to take a 90-degree crossover and go to either side of the groundwork. It could be this side, it could be that side. Then I'm going to take a bridge because it's a little bit easier to use and see. And I'm going to go up at 8% for probably just over the length of it. I'm then going to extend a little piece out just so we have something to re-rail to. And there we go. What you're then going to do is you're going to grab a cordwood car, plop it onto the steel bridge, and we're just going to watch it coast in. So it bounced back quite a bit, but it's still on a ramp, so it should slide down. Okay, it's not, so how do I fix that? Well, we're going to be putting more than one car, and so I'm just going to steal this one right here, and re-reel it behind. Oh, I forgot to turn the brake off. Hold on. There we go. The second cordwood car will push it into the buffer. What you can then do is we go grab our third and final car. So it's going to push itself right into the other cars. What you can then do is delete the bridge. And voila. All 3 of the cordwood cars fit, and they fit rather snugly. And just to make sure nothing else happens, turn the brakes on all the cars. But there you go. This is how I can load the cordwood cars into this fine space. Moving on, I am not the most happy with this as I built it a few hours ago. I actually want to replace this and make it look a little bit better and probably put a yard in. The first thing I'm going to do for that is I'm actually going to make our yard lead. No, correction. I actually want to find the angle first. I want it to tilt rather sharply. So we're going to do 100. I feel something like this might prove rather nice. All I'm going to try to do is create some kind of mass storage. Nothing too fancy, but at least just want to make sure I have all the storage capabilities. It's not going to be a through yard, it's just going to be a dead end where you have to pull in one way and just shunt basically. Now if you haven't seen this before, let's actually show this now. The ballast or the harp switch is rather weird. Like, look at this. What? It seems like it's a smaller gap here but a bigger gap here. It throws me off, and I think it's slightly tilted because of that, and we don't want that. My advice to you is simply place a regular switch, connect it like normal. Let's see, we're probably going to go out maybe 70, or we'll do 65. Get a nice whole number, there we go. What I'm going to then do is replace the harp switch, the 3-point switch, like normal. And what I have to do now is actually reconnect these. I'm actually going to have more space if I turn the yard to the left. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to turn the yard to its left. And this is going to be one of the lanes right here. So we can probably do a nice 90. What I'm going to do for that track is I might make it like engine storage or something of that sort, I should say. Actually, I'm getting so many ideas. I think it'd just be better to do this way, and now we can actually get some cool yard things. I wonder, I can do a whole thing right here. Yeah, let me just continue with this real quickly and let's see what happens. And there we are. That yard took me just a few minutes, but I think it turned out really good. Let's take a look at it. We got 4 lanes to actually store stuff, and I had enough track and room to build a little engine shed. So now maybe you have a little yard to go or something here to deal with the yard itself. And I actually like this a lot more. I think the less space it took up, the overall better it looked. I'm actually a really big fan of it. But now the next thing we actually got to tackle is simply the loop. How do we actually connect everything back up? There may be a way we can actually redo the switches to make it a little bit better. I'm not sure. Give me a minute or two, I'll see what I can do. Okay, so after a little bit of messing around, I came up with this. Now you can see how different it is if I place that switch back, how different the actual angle is and what we're shifting it to. The reason for it is I want to minimize how much this is actually curving by a lot, and it will actually allow me to make this next piece right here a little bit better looking. With this, we can actually probably get away with doing this now that I think about it, just to make the curves a little bit better. We have a lot of sideways room there and not a lot of room here. So let's see if I need to do anything special to actually connect this. I can probably just connect it straight into here, but I'm worried now that's going to make... I'm actually thinking about doing right here is extending this up by 0.5% and just making it a little bit of a better transition into it. There we go. Not so bad. I can't really tell that there's a little hill. Now with this one, I'm really tempted just to connect it straight up and see what happens, but I have a feeling it's going to do weird things. No, that looks rather okay. I think I might... No, that actually looks rather okay. Doesn't look too bad on extended either. But this way, we actually have just everything's going to be a lot better. This isn't going to be as much groundwork. And yeah, let's see if we can just kind of connect this up real quickly. Real quickly, I just realized I made a boo-boo there. The switch is out of grade, actually. And I'm tempted to keep it, to be honest with you. That will make this a lot smoother. But now I'm wondering what happens if I place it normal. Okay, it's not the end of the world. That's just a lot of height. Maybe get a little bit lower. Maybe, because of what's happening there. I think we're going to keep it. I am going to make this a fixed radius, though, instead of something weird. I think I'm going to do 120. But regardless, let's actually just, again, jump into something and see if we can finish it out. And voila, it is done, and I'm actually really happy with it. I think it looks a little bit more symmetrical. Unfortunately, Roads Extended is kind of freaking out on me right now, so I'm having a hard time actually seeing what it looks like above, but I am more than confident saying that this destination is done. Let us go ahead and hop back on the train and go to our next place. And here we are at the final destination that needs to be fixed, the coal mine. What specifically about it? Well, as you can see, I forgot to add a connection here. I believe I said I would add some other yard or facility, and I actually just want to do that now. I think I want to reformat maybe the actual orientation. I think maybe getting rid of this switch and actually just making it... I basically want to put more storage up here, and we have a lot of more space this way, so I think I'm going to try to put more tracks here and make it actually like a fun industry that has some life to it. So without further ado, let's jump into a time lapse and get it done. And would you look at that? Finally, just after a few minutes of actually building, it turned out rather well. I'm actually really happy with this, and I think it looks rather massive compared to maybe the ladder, what people usually do. Couldn't fit all the facilities in. I was thinking about putting in a firewood depot, but just didn't have enough space. I tried to do it, but it didn't really work out. Probably could put one here, but the problem is you can't really do unload unless you do a switch here. It's a possibility, but I think we're fine right now. Kind of makes sense to have a cooling tower at the coal mine and maybe firewood, maybe at the base of the mountain or something. I don't know. I think it turned out rather well. Everything's rather functional. And I think that is it for the video. Let's go ahead and hop in our engine and head back down to where it all began. And we are officially done. It's been quite the journey over the last few months, just building this world, and I've actually had a blast doing it and explaining a lot of stuff. It's been a fun experience for me. And we reached the close, at least for now. I probably will make other tracklaying episodes when the time comes. They may not be as regular as you might think, but we are going to move on to the Maintenance Away series as well. And I have some extra content planned too. Unfortunately though, my schedule has picked up a lot recently due to work and just my actual career. And so I may not be able to post as regularly, and this is why this video was delayed just ever so slightly. It's because of my workload and just how my life is playing out right now. For those of you who don't know, I am actually a classical concert pianist, and on the main page of the Kiss This channel, you'll actually find my piano channel and just me in general. I am going to Italy in July 2023, and I will be performing in an international music festival. It's rather exciting, but it's eating away a lot of my time just because I had to prepare and get ready for that whole side of things. Regardless though, we're done. We're done with the series. The world is fixed, and during the live stream I will release the save for everyone to have. Now speaking of that, the live stream, what is going on? I know it may not be the biggest deal for everyone, but it's kind of a big deal for me as it will be my first basically official live stream of all time for me. And I've been doing my research and trying to make sure I can actually do it justice for it. Maybe not the quality of some other people, but it still be mine. I hope it'll be a fun time for all. It will be hosted on June 10th. That is a Saturday this upcoming weekend. The actual format for it is anyone will be allowed to join both on YouTube, Discord, throughout. I'll also be making other posts on Reddit as well, and it should be a fun time. What we plan to do, and I'll be doing my work this week when I can, is we'll be loading up trains to get oil barrels from the refinery. I will be building some log trains and some small stake trains for us to use, and my plan is to start with the sawmill completely filled up 100, 100, 100, and then we'll go from there to the iron mine. I might fill the cordwood up at the smelter to make that really easy, but we'll see. I will be putting the stream information in Discord too. Probably the people on my Discord are going to get the first priority. So if you haven't joined, you should consider joining down below in the description. It's always free, and if you want, you can just leave whenever you feel like if it's not for you, but still consider checking us out. That is basically it. There's one last piece of information, is when is it actually going to start? Well, for those who don't know, I live on the eastern coast of America, and we will be starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be putting different timestamps for all the time zones right now. Awesome. Alright everyone, that is it. I'm not going to do my casual cough 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 section. I think it's just about time to end it here. It's kind of rather long now. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me and I do take notice. Alright y'all, my name is Kist and I'll see you on Saturday. Bye-bye. We are now recording, yay.
Well, I was gonna go get some chips, but McDonald's was still open. I'm hungry, so
Yeah.
I got a burger instead.
I haven't gotten like a McDonald's hamburger in a while. I thought about it. I usually get like the crispy chicken.
I'm not big on fast food chicken.
It's how I eat.
There's the thing. Is the
This is all bad. This is all bad. This is all bad because I keep stumbling over my own thought. Okay, restart.